Heyo, welcome back to Cartoon Mania. Today we've got a complete rundown of the show Slugterra from its humble beginnings to the grand finale. So here's the deal, we've got this teenager named Eli Shane. He heads down from the surface world to this underground place called Slugterra, mainly because his dad, Will Shane, was this big shot slug slinger. Eli decides to follow in his old man's footsteps and becomes a slinger himself. His mission? To keep Slugterra safe and sound, which means stopping all sorts of bad guys who want to get their hands on these super powerful and super rare slugs for some not so nice reasons. Many years before the show started, Will Shane and his rival friend Black were in training under an unbeatable master named Shania. Now Black is the main antagonist of this show, and so you might be wondering what pushed these two to the opposite sides of each other. Well, for that, we'll have to hear from Black himself. Black's strategy starts with his deadbeat dad abandoning him, leaving Black to fend for himself in a lawless cavern. He ends up working as a servant for a bandit named Vigo Dare. But things took a turn when he crossed paths with Master Shania, who basically gave him the cold shoulder. So Black goes back, takes over the cavern, and kicks Dare out. From there, Black's beef with Will Shane keeps going strong, and he stumbles upon this dark water stuff, which can turn normal slugs into terrifying ghouls. After some experimenting, he opens a portal to a dangerous place under Slugterra called Deep Caverns, and gets yanked in by a demonic being called the Dark Bane. That's when his skin goes all white and he starts teaming up with the demon. After all that drama, Black creates his very first ghoul, and you guessed it, he uses it to take down his rival Will Shane. While we're at it, let's talk about how he took down Will Shane. In the midst of a heated showdown between Will Shane and the infamous Dr. Black, it initially seems like Shane's got the upper hand. But then Black pulls his ace up his sleeve, a ghoul slug. However, this slug turns out to be a ticking time bomb, and it goes haywire, conjuring up a colossal black hole. Despite Shane's desperate pleas for Black to halt the chaos, the villain escapes, leaving Shane to be swallowed by the menacing vortex. Just moments before his vanishing act, Shane manages to shoot his trusty slug, Burpee, instructing him to find his son and lead him to a hidden letter. Burpee makes it to the surface where he encounters a 10-year-old kid named Eli Shane. Guiding Eli to a concealed compartment in his bedroom floor, Burpee unveils the letter, which advises Eli to wait until the age of 15 before embarking on a journey into the enigmatic world of Slugterra. 5 years later, we find 15-year-old Eli, who's all set to embark on a journey to Slugterra following his father Will Shane's letter. Eli and Burpee navigate the intricate sewer system to reach the drop and enter the underground world. Upon arrival, Eli dons Slugterra attire and equips himself with essential gear, including 2 mecha beasts, his very own wolf mecha, aptly named Lucky, and a donkey mecha. Their adventure kicks off when they stumble upon Pronto, a Molinoid tracker, and soon they're on a mission to build an arsenal of slugs. Along the way, they meet a mysterious girl who saves Eli from bullies, but leaves before he can learn her name. Her name is Trixie, by the way. They eventually reach a tournament where Eli manages to triumph in a duel, earning respect and some new slugs for his arsenal. Meanwhile, Dr. Black and his henchman Morris plot their own sinister plans with a growing army of ghouls. Eli, Trixie, and Pronto face challenges as they enter the slug-slinging tournament in Slugterra, with Eli gradually building his arsenal and forming bonds with slugs like Banger. The Shane gang, including Trixie and Pronto, triumphs in various rounds, catching the attention of Dr. Black. A confrontation with Black reveals the existence of ghouls, and despite Eli's impressive progress, he faces defeat in the finals against John Bull, who uses a ghoul. The newly formed Shane gang, determined to protect Slugterra, rides off to face the challenges ahead, setting the stage for their new adventures. The gang, after a duel with a villain named CC and discovering their hideout trashed, decides to buy boosters for their gear. However, the shop owner only accepts slugs as a payment, leading Eli to reluctantly trade away Jules.
You've been a great slug, Jules, but we really need the gear.
They soon learn the shop owner is supplying Dr. Black with slugs. After a duel with Black's enforcer, Black's henchmen take off with Jules and the other slugs. Fearing Jules will be ghouled, Eli decides to infiltrate Black's fortress to free the slugs, while Pronto, Cord, and Trixie tunnel underground to assist. Eli distracts Black with a duel, allowing the gang to escape with Jules and successfully free the other captured slugs. While attempting to capture a frost crawler, Pronto accidentally triggers a speed boost for all the slugs in the cavern, causing the place to freeze over. Eli and the gang are nearly trapped but are saved when Eli uses Burpee to melt the ice. They gain a frost crawler as a new member of their team but damage Eli's blaster in the process. They seek out the renowned blaster expert, Red Hook, but encounter the Hooli Gang terrorizing the area. After a contest and a slug battle, the Shane Gang defeats the Hooli Gang and saves a slug named Doc from being ghouled. Red Hook initially refuses to fix Eli's blaster, but changes his mind upon realizing Eli is Will Shane's son. He provides Eli with a new blaster, and during another showdown with the Hooli Gang, they discover that Doc is a healer slug, which leads to his acceptance into the gang. The gang decides to participate in the slug run race, with the prize being a coveted crystallid slug. During the race, they encounter various challenges and competitors, including Vance Bolt, a champion racer who works for Dr. Black. Along the way, they inadvertently enter Shadow Clan territory and awaken crystal worms. Eli and Vance find themselves pursued by a massive worm, with Vance eventually winning the race. However, Vance acknowledges Eli's determination and commitment to keeping the crystallide out of Black's hands and decides to give the slug to him. Cedo, another racer revealed to be working for Black, tries to claim the prize but falls into a hole created by Pronto using the crystallite. Eli then asks Vance to train him, cementing their newfound connection. The Shane Gang hunts a speedy slug called Hoverbug, but their mecha beast malfunction during the chase, causing the slug to escape tauntingly. They suspect the issues may be related to recent upgrades from the Great Western Forge, so they visit the factory. To their surprise, they find the place under new management by Darius Yorman, who appears hospitable but raises suspicions. Eli and Pronto discover that Darius is ghouling mechas with dark water to sabotage them, aiming to divert people to Dr. Black's train company. After a confrontation and with the help of Grendel and other imprisoned cave trolls, they thwart Darius's plan and free the mechas from dark water control. Trixie records evidence of the sabotage, while Black plans to produce more ghouls despite the setback. The Shane Gang ventures into Deadweed Cavern in search of Fright Guy's slugs, which induce fear in their targets. They encounter eerie phenomena, including ghostly apparitions and the unsettling presence of men transformed by dark water exposure. Inside the cavern, they stumble upon Dr. Black's operation to mine dark water, witnessing how he creates ghouls by exposing slugs to be tainted substance. They decide to cut off Black's dark water supply and engage in a confrontation with El Diablo's Nacho, one of Black's enforcers. Despite their efforts, Nacho manages to escape with a significant amount of dark water. However, the Shane Gang's encounter with ghostly figures leads them to discover a friendly Fright Guy slug, and with its help, they thwart Nacho's escape, shutting down the dark water pump. The episode ends with Nacho and Dr. Black surrounded by containers of dark water, suggesting that their sinister operations persist. Two brothers, Lockie and Lodi, unleash a swarm of Fandango slugs to attack a group of slingers, prompting a distress call that brings Eli and the gang to the rescue. They manage to repel the brothers' attack, but find the other slingers' mechas severely damaged. The gang offers to transport the Fandango slugs to Bullseye Cavern to save them from dying. However, Lockie and Lodi intercept them and try to thwart their mission. Forced to take an alternative route through Shadow Clan territory, they get captured by the Shadow Clan but are ultimately saved by Burpee. Upon reaching Bullseye Cavern, Lockie and Lodi launch another attack, leading to a discovery that the cavern holds a large reservoir of dark water. Trixie realizes the danger, and Eli, with the help of Pronto and Fandango slugs, manages to dispose of the dark water, safeguarding the cavern from its corrupting influence. In this episode, Trixie convinces the gang to embark on a slug hunt for the rare and near-extinct Enigmo slug, which attracts various other hunters eager to capture it, including a wealthy couple looking to buy it. During the hunt, Eli stumbles upon a deadly slug trap and saves a slug about to fall into it. To his surprise, Trixie reveals that the slug he saved is the Enigmo, attracting the attention of Gerard Stalker, a feared slug hunter who demands the Enigmo's return. Eli refuses, leading to a showdown between the gang and Stalker. In the end, after defeating Stalker, they decline an offer from the wealthy couple and head back to their mecha beasts. The Shane Gang pursues Dr. Black's troops carrying vital information, but is ambushed and attacked by a Black enforcer. They're saved by Twist, a slinger with a rare thuglet slug named Loki. Grateful, they invite Twist for a meal and share their plan to raid a ghoul storage stronghold. Disguised as guards, they infiltrate and load a cart with ghouls but face Nacho outside. They escape on mecha beasts with a ghoul-laden wagon chased by Nacho. The ghouls escape during the chase, only to be recaptured later when Twist deploys Loki's abilities. The gang returns home with their new ally, Twist, unaware that he reports back to his employer, Dr. Black, after leaving. The Shane Gang teams up with Twist to execute a plan to rob a train carrying Dr. Black's remaining dark water supply. However, they fall into a trap set by El Diablo's Nacho. Cord realizes that Twist is actually working for Dr. Black and warns Eli. During the confrontation, Twist reveals his personal vendetta against Will Shane, claiming to be an orphan due to Will's actions. A duel ensues between Eli and Twist, with Twist eventually making his escape. In the end, Dr. Black replaces El Diablo's Nacho with Twist, sending Nacho back to the deep caverns. Fueled by a journal from Eli's great-uncle hinting at the existence of the surface world, a ridiculed adventurer plans an expedition and invites believers to join him. Eli, hearing about this, decides to stop the expedition. Sneaking out of their hideout, he's spotted by Trixie and Cord, who misunderstand his motives and accompany him. Arriving at the adventurers' gathering, they are mistaken for participants. The gang returns to their hideout while Eli steals the journal. Pursued by the adventurer and slingers, Eli reveals the journal's truth about the surface. A duel ensues, Cord is taken hostage, and Eli burns the journal with Burpee's help, causing the adventurer to leave. Finally, Eli shares his origin in the tunnel connecting Slugterra to the surface with the gang. Quentin, a mad scientist, experiments with robo-slugs, which possess the combined abilities of all slugs in Slugterra. Kate and Tobias, fellow scientists, seek the Shane gang's help after Quentin threatens their university's headmaster. In a duel, Eli defeats Quentin using the rare Enigmo slug, whose abilities Quentin was unaware of. Quentin returns with a giant robot and defeats the gang. Quentin created robo-slugs to replace real slugs, and a plan is formed to face him with a giant robot built from their mecha beasts. Despite Quentin's advantage with robo-slugs, the gang cracks open his robot and defeats him. Quentin is imprisoned but later accepts an offer from Dr. Black to work for him. Now, remember Shanae, the renowned unbeatable master of slug slinging? Well, she challenges Eli to meet her for potential training, and Eli, along with Trixie, Cord, and Pronto, eagerly arrives at Shanae's training competition, where numerous slingers compete for the honor of being her student. After a series of eliminations and intense duels, Eli and another slinger, revealed to be Twist in disguise, reach the finals. However, Twist's true identity causes concern as Eli believes he shouldn't be trained due to his questionable loyalty. Shanae shares her history with Will Shane and Dr. Black, expressing regret over not guiding Black away from his dark path. During the finals, Black arrives, leading to a showdown where Shanae faces Black in a duel while Eli takes on Twist. Tragically, Black mortally wounds Shanae with a goulded slug, but before passing away, she transfers herself to an unknown place, leaving her two slugs behind. Eli avenges her by defeating Black, and the gang mourns her loss at a somber funeral. The Shane gang seeks Red Hook's help to create a fusion blaster for Eli. Red Hook initially expresses doubt but reveals the need for a Vitalis crystal to build the blaster. The gang heads to the Scrap Head to find one, where they encounter the Scrap Force led by the cunning boss Ember. A skirmish ensues, resulting in the gang's defeat when an X-mitter is used against them. Eli then duels Ember, who reveals additional limbs, launching a slug onslaught. The gang eventually manages to escape with the Vitalis crystal. Ember pursues them but is defeated and confined to deep storage. With the crystal secured, Red Hook begins work on Double Barrel Blaster, while Dr. Black works on his Gatler weapon. One day, Dr. Black's steel train races through Slugterra with destructive power. As the gang fights to prevent the train from reaching Lumino Cavern, they encounter the enigmatic Shadow Clan, who possess knowledge about slugs and fusion shots. Eli faces a life-or-death situation, ultimately harnessing the power of slug auras to create a successful fusion shot. With teamwork and determination, the gang thwarts Black's destructive plans and saves Lumino Cavern. The episode ends with a glimpse of Black's frustration and the return of El Diablo's Nacho, hinting at further developments in the ongoing saga. Dr. Black has been apprehended, and the Shane gang must transport him to Stalagmite 17, the most secure prison in Slugterra. To ensure a safe journey, Cord unveils impressive modifications to their mecha beasts, granting them enhanced speed and capabilities. Along the way, Quentin, using powerful Titan tanks, attempts to rescue Black, leading to a thrilling chase and battle. After a series of confrontations, Eli makes a remarkable discovery by pushing his mecha to its limits, achieving a new level of power known as megamorphing. Despite the challenges, the gang successfully outmaneuvers their adversaries, ultimately delivering Dr. Black to Stalagmite 17 and ensuring his containment. Dr. Black's backstory unfolds as he recounts his tumultuous life to Eli, revealing his difficult upbringing, servitude to the bandit Vigo Dare, and his quest for power through the discovery of dark water. Black's narrative also delves into his rivalry with Will Shane, his transformation into a Ghoul Master, and his alliance with the Darkbane. However, he refuses to divulge further details about Eli's father, leaving Eli eager for answers. Meanwhile, the Shane gang faces external threats as Nacho attempts to break Black out of prison, inadvertently unleashing Darkbanes into the caverns. With Black on the loose, the Shane gang regroups to strategize their next steps. The Shane gang responds to a distress call in a distant cavern where they join forces with a group of slingers and gain a new member named Rookie. Together, they plan to take down a barrier guarding a fortress. Rookie faces challenges as he tries out his slinging abilities for the first time. After breaching the barrier and engaging in battles with Darkbane forces, including the capture and rescue of Burpee, the gang successfully retakes the cavern. However, their celebration is short-lived when they discover that Dr. Black is launching invasions across multiple caverns, signaling a new threat on the horizon. The Shane gang attempts to rally cavern residents against Dr. Black during a raid, but their plan fails when they discover that Black's ghouls have been megamorphed. They flee with their mechas after a confrontation with Nacho, during which Burpee megamorphs as well. The gang decides to seek help from Red Hook and arrives at Quiet Lawn Cavern, only to find that Black has captured Red Hook and forced them to create accelerators. While attempting to escape, Eli gets captured and brought to Black's citadel by Twist, Nacho, and the Darkbane brothers. With Burpee's help, Eli escapes and steals a Black's goon suit to infiltrate the citadel. There, he discovers Black's plan to create a Terra portal to the Dark Caverns and faces off with Black. Later, Red Hook and Eli engage in a slug out inside the citadel but are interrupted by Black's goons. They manage to escape with the help of Trixie, Court, and Pronto, reuniting as a team and heading home. Dr. Black is in the process of activating a Terra portal to bring legions of Darkbanes to Slugterra. Meanwhile, the Shane gang prepares for a major showdown by filtering their slugs to identify those capable of megamorphing. They launch a frontline assault on Black's citadel, engaging his minions in a fierce battle. Eli faces off against Black himself, while Pronto embarks on a mission to seek assistance from the Shadow Clan. As the battle rages outside, Trixie and Cord struggle until Cord's mecha gets damaged, causing him to go berserk and take down Nacho. With Pronto's help and the Shadow Clan's support, they enter the Citadel to aid Eli. The gang works together to thwart Black's plans, and in the end, Eli uses a clever move involving Burpee to defeat Black, sending him and the Darkbane into the deep caverns. However, their celebration is cut short when Blight, riding a dinosaur from the Cavern of Time, launches an attack, setting the stage for the next challenge. The Shane gang faces a new challenge, Scrap Force Gang and their enigmatic leader, Boss Ember. Eli is challenged to a duel, but when Boss Ember recklessly fires a Megamorph slug, chaos ensues. The gang manages to stop the Scrap Force, but Eli becomes intrigued by the concept of megamorphing and the potential it offers. Their curiosity leads them to Gateway Cavern, where they encounter mysterious slingers with masks and a powerful creature. A battle ensues, revealing that these newcomers possess Gould slugs. The gang decides to pursue them to the Far East Cavern, a desolate and unfamiliar territory. In the remote cavern, they encounter a dark figure, initially mistaken for Dr. Black. However, this enigmatic individual reveals himself as the Dark Slinger and introduces the true orchestrator behind his actions, a sinister being known as the Dark Energy Goon. The Goon possesses the power to control individuals and plans to find a new host among those who know the 99 Caverns well. Eli engages in a fierce battle with the Dark Slinger, but the Goon's control over him intensifies, and Burpee plays a crucial role in resisting the Goon's influence. Inside Eli's mind, a battle of wills unfolds as the Goon attempts to overpower Eli's consciousness. The Goon's ultimate plan is to create an army of ghouls, but he is unaware that Dr. Black and the Darkbane still exist. As the Goon's possession of Eli escalates, the gang faces challenges in battling marauders and tries to reach their friend. Burpee and Doc enter Eli's mind to confront the Goon, leading to an epic showdown. Eventually, with Burpee's determination and Doc's healing abilities, Eli regains control and the Goon is defeated. The episode ends with a sense of unity and peace among the Shane gang, but a new mystery emerges with the introduction of Junji, a champion from the Eastern Realms and the guardian of an infernus slug. As they contemplate their next steps, the gang remains vigilant in the ever-changing world of Slugterra. Eli experiences a troubling dream filled with Gould slugs, his father's mysterious message about gathering the Five, and a menacing clawed hand emerging from dark water. The next day, the Shane gang, now joined by Junji, trains in slug food. They encounter a peculiar Gould transformation affecting their air slugs, raising suspicions of a new threat. Guided by the Shadow Clan, they embark on a mission to retrieve elemental slugs scattered across Slugterra. Their quest leads them to rescue the Earth Elemental in Quartermain Cavern and the Water Elemental on an island within a Gould Cavern Sea. Despite their efforts, they cannot prevent the transformation of Quiet Lawn Cavern, orchestrated by Dr. Black and the Goon, who has taken a new host Slinger. Along the way, the gang discovers that one of their slugs, Doc, is the Energy Elemental. In their pursuit, they locate the Fire Elemental in Upright Cavern, where a fierce battle ensues. Surprisingly, Eli's father, Will Shane, is revealed as the Darkslinger, now hosting the Goon. Through teamwork, they manage to defeat the Goon but inadvertently send Black, the Goon, and Will Shane into the deep caverns. To restore Slugterra to its former glory, the Shane gang reunites the elemental slugs and utilizes their powers to reverse the damage caused. Their mission now shifts towards rescuing Will Shane, while Slugterra begins to recover from the devastating effects of ghouling. Welder Walter and his colleagues, along with the King of Sling, stumble upon an ancient artifact within a hidden cave during a mining expedition. Their discovery is interrupted by the Shadow Clan's emergence, leading to a fierce battle. The Shane gang, along with the elemental slugs, arrives to confront the Shadow Clan. It's revealed that the elementals haven't been seen in a millennium, suggesting a significant turning point. Recognizing the artifact's potential as a portal to other locations, they decide to use it to search for Will Shane on the condition that they safeguard the 99 caverns during Eli's absence. They also agree to collaborate with the King of Sling. Through the portal, they land in Serenity Cavern, where they encounter the Outlaws. The Outlaws blame Junji for 20 years of turmoil in their caverns, but we'll get to that soon. To confront a new threat named the Emperor, who aims to exploit elemental slugs for his nefarious purposes, the Shane gang teams up with the Outlaws. Along their journey, they uncover the Emperor's sinister plans, face various challenges, and ultimately engage in a battle to protect Slugterra and its inhabitants. 88 generations ago in ancient China, Yang, a skilled archer, faced off against the power-hungry and magic-wielding first emperor of China, who sought to conquer all lands and achieve immortality. Defeated and left unconscious, Yang drifted to a hidden grotto near Peach Blossom Spring Cavern, where he and his people found refuge, encountering friendly inhabitants and slugs, leading Yang to become the first Eastern champion with the newly discovered slug fu power. However, a traitorous criminal revealed the cavern's location to the Emperor, sparking a fierce battle between Yang and the Emperor, which resulted in the Emperor's fall into dark water, granting him immortality, but also transforming him into a soulless being. The Emperor later raised a dark army of stone warriors, but was unable to ascend to the surface due to a guardian gate sealed with dark energy. Nearly 2,000 years later, Junji, Yang's descendant, became the new Eastern champion, and the Emperor broke through the Guardian Gate, ghoulifying a Guardian Boondock into the Goon. In a battle against the Stone Warriors, Junji's mind was corrupted by the Emperor using the Goon, turning him into the Dark Slinger until he was saved by his friends. In the present, a character named Dai Fu observes their world while seeking advice from the statuified Emperor, who ominously laughs, hinting at a potential return. Pronto accidentally wields the Emperor's sword blaster, gaining unstoppable power and defeating all adversaries, including Underlord Holt. Lady Dai Fu seizes this opportunity to manipulate Holt, setting a trap for the Shane gang using the Iron Warrior, a formidable weapon. Though they evade the Iron Warrior, Peach Blossom is destroyed, and Dai Fu claims the Emperor's sword, bringing her one step closer to bringing the Emperor back in shape. Dai Fu uses the Emperor's sword to resurrect him and commands the Underlords to create more Iron Warriors for an ultimate siege. Later, the Emperor instructs Dai Fu to hunt down the Eastern champion, leading to a battle between the two groups. However, the Iron Warrior proves overwhelming and the Shane gang ends up imprisoned. They have an audience with the Emperor, who introduces 2 more Iron Warriors, but the catch is that Dai Fu has to sacrifice her life force to power them up. Now Dai Fu is actually named Lian, who used to be an honorable woman who taught Junji the art of slug fu until she was corrupted by the Emperor. To save her, the Shane gang tries to intervene, but it's too late, and the Emperor's army is at full strength. Ultimately, the Shane gang is defeated, but they are saved by one of the slugs and teleported to safety. Following Dai Fu's sacrifice of her life force, the gang utilizes slugs to heal her, and to their surprise, she reverts to her original persona as Lian. Leaving her to recuperate, they return to the Eastern Cavern for a pivotal showdown against the Emperor, bolstered by a coalition of allies. Although they manage to briefly level the playing field, it's Lian's return to the battle that ultimately tips the scales in their favor. With combined effort, they successfully hurl the Emperor back into the Guardian Gate, resealing him. In the end, the Shane gang and their allies commemorate their triumph, renewing their commitment to safeguard Slugterra from the Emperor's sinister ambitions. And that concludes our recap. This was Slugterra from beginning to the end in detail. What do you think? What was your favorite moment in the show? Do let us know down in the comments, as we'd love to hear from you. And as for everything else, if you enjoyed it, drop us a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. As always, thanks for watching. Peace!